Bleaching by Andi. Dedicated to Mrs. Weber, my awesome 4th grade teacher. Introduction. Coral reefs are a very important species in the marine ecosystem. Coral reefs support some of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet. Coral reefs are found in circumtropical waters along the shores of islands and continents. At least a quarter of the world's marine life needs coral reefs for some part of their life cycle. Coral is bright and colorful algae that are microscopic, and it is called zooxanthellae. Coral reefs are a very interesting species, however their population is declining. Red dots show where coral reefs are. Bleaching. Facts about bleaching. During a bleaching event, the brownish algae disappear from the tissue of the coral, leading to observed color change. Water pollution, overfishing, and coastal development are all harming coral reefs, while carbon pollution threatens reefs worldwide and is their biggest threat. Carbon pollution is just a fancier word for bleaching. Bleaching is a big threat to coral reefs, and it is starting to grow. Did you know that when coral bleaches, the coral is not dead? Each bleaching event weakens the overall health of the coral over time. Corals can survive a bleaching event, but they are under more stress. As you can see, coral bleaching puts a lot of pressure on the coral. Before bleaching, after bleaching occurs. How bleaching occurs. The leading cause of coral bleaching is climate change. One way bleaching occurs is when the densities of zooxanthellae decline. A second way bleaching occurs is when water temperatures are warmer. Corals will expel the algae living in their tissues, causing the coral to turn completely white. The final way bleaching occurs is when the concentration of photosynthetic pigments within the zooxanthellae fall. There are many ways bleaching can occur, but none of them are good. Why bleaching matters. The first reason why bleaching matters is bleaching weakens the coral's immune systems. This is a problem because the coral is less capable of fighting off disease. Here is the difference between when coral is healthy, stressed, or bleached. It also shows how much zooxanthellae is in the coral for how healthy the coral is. The next reason coral bleaching matters is because once corals die, coral reefs rarely come back. As you can see, coral bleaching matters a lot. Bleaching events that happen to coral reefs. In 2005, the United States lost half of its coral reefs in 1 year due to a massive bleaching event. Another coral bleaching event happened in January 2010 in the Florida Keys. Cold water temperatures caused a coral bleaching event that resulted in some coral death. These were only some bleaching events that happened to coral reefs. There are many, many more. Recovering from bleaching. How can coral reefs recover from bleaching? The determining factor of if a coral reef will survive is the amount of time the coral is exposed to warmer water temperatures. Corals are also usually regain their symbiotic algae within several weeks or a few months if the bleaching is not too severe, and it decreases in time. There are barely any ways that coral reefs can recover from bleaching. Why is it important that coral reefs recover from bleaching? One reason why it is important that coral reefs recover from bleaching is that it can take decades for coral reefs to recover fully, and these events do not occur frequently. A second reason is if the temperature in the ocean stays high, the coral won't let the algae grow back, and the coral will die. The final reason why it is important is that sea temperatures are predicted to rise and bleaching is expected to occur more and more frequently. It is very important that coral reefs recover from bleaching. This is a picture of a healthy coral reef and is full of marine life, unlike coral reefs that are bleached. Conclusion. Coral reefs are an amazing part of ocean life, but unfortunately, coral reefs are dying out. Bleaching or carbon pollution is threatening more and more. There are a few ways that coral reefs can recover from bleaching, but they rarely happen. I hope you realize that coral reefs need our help.